A beautiful, beautiful big boy Sunday morning. Today is an amazing day. We got some huge matchups. We have some trash matchups too, but that doesn't mean we can't farm those trash matchups for some killer uh, parlays and some player props that will make you, I don't know, stack that cash a little higher than you were yesterday. So
Yep,
AG is
that's the
here. He
name
is
of the
the
game.
man. He is the man in the place to be, and we are ready to kick it off. It is week 7 of or wait, no, week 6 of the NFL slate. It was week 7 of college football. Anyway, here we are. It's week 6. We had an amazingly exciting game on Thursday night that we are trying to follow up. We hope that these games can live up to that masterpiece 12-7 just trash can of a game.
It's going to be
between
tough. It's
the
going to be
Commanders and
tough.
the Bears. Yeah, it's going to be tough. No, it's
We're going to
not.
need some defenses to lay down and just not play.
It'll have to be like one of those plays where like they bring the kid in who's like
Exactly.
he's like 9 and he wants to, he's like running backwards and they had to turn him around and face the
I'll
other
tell you.
way.
I'll tell you what. It's all fun and games until you actually look at this slate and you realize that there's a couple games there that don't look too appealing. So but I don't think any games look as bad as that and as bad as like last Thursday was. Like we kind of expected it from both games. I mean, we kind of thought that there was going to be a lot of points last Thursday. Not a lot, but we just kind of, we felt like the offenses would break a little bit, break the defense down a little bit, a lot more than they did, obviously.
Right.
But we weren't expecting like a shootout, obviously. But none of these games look like that, where I'm just going to flat out just be like, no, it's going to be like 20-20. Like there's a lot of these games look like they have potential to go over at least. You know what I mean?
Right. No, for sure. And it's time to get into what we can find in terms of player prop potential and whatnot for those games, because that's the name of the game. Like sometimes we aren't afforded as many opportunities to bet sides as we are afforded opportunities to really identify some key matchups that can give us some really good player props. And so like I'm in this contest where you have to make 9 plays over the course of 3 days. And I looked at this and I'm like, man, I can't pick 9 games where I want to. And then I've got to like dip into baseball and all this stuff, which by the way, I'm like 6-0 the last 2 days in baseball. I picked all of those games right. So that's been good. So maybe I shouldn't lament that. But the point is, when there's not a great slate of games to pick sides or to pick over-unders or anything like that, man, there's some really, really ripe fruit for the picking when it comes to player props. And AG has done a really good job over the last couple of weeks, especially of digging into the trends and stats to give us some really good, identifiable, juicy matchups that we can exploit. So let's get into it.
You want to go through game by
sharing
game
this bad
or
boy
just
out right now? So it's time to go, huh?
Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Let's do it.
What we got first?
So first up on the slate on my list is this 49ers Falcons game, which is, we've talked about George Kittle as basically playing left tackle for the 49ers here lately. And you did a really good job of breaking down how valuable Tyler Higbee is to the Rams and how good he is just as a tight end overall in the NFL. He may not have a 4-touchdown game like Travis Kelce did Monday night, but he's a monster and is getting all the targets that Cooper Kupp is not getting. and so there's some matchups to exploit there. We've done a really good job of picking out those opportunities where Deebo Samuel's going to take one to the house, and even Jeff Wilson. But there's some other matchups too. Let's get into what you found.
For this game, I was just gonna live discuss this game. I actually don't have anything too strong.
Oh, you don't? Okay.
I think the 49ers will keep I think the 49ers will keep control of the ball pretty well, like third downs and whatnot. This is the defense that can potentially slow them down. The Falcons offense, the rush offense. But we'll see. So I didn't want to take Tyler Algier. His is set at over under 45.5. So it's like that looks appealing, but then you think about who they're playing, and it's like, all right, I kind of want to stay away from that. I do like I like Jeffrey Wilson in this game, but I don't have his props up yet on a lot of books because he's probable, but I guess we're not sure if he's going to play or not. Do you have him on there?
Yeah, well, I pulled up the wrong thing. So player rush yards. Here we go. Tyler Algier is at 44.5 on FanDuel, and Jeff Wilson is at 67.5 for his over/under on yards.
Okay, yeah. See, I like Jeff Wilson. What's his longest rush in this one?
All right, let's pull it up. Where are we at?
You probably got to go out of same game parlay or popular, whatever you're in. You got to go to rushing probably.
Just go to rushing props. Yeah. My bad, y'all. This is week 2 of me navigating FanDuel for the first time ever, and so bear with me for a minute while I figure out how this works. All right, so longest rush, Jeff Wilson, 15.5. I don't know how good you feel about that.
I like that again this week.
You like that? Okay. All right. So
I mean, I like it, but I mean, I'm not saying that I'm backing it, but I like it. I'll take a look at it. You know.
Yeah, I got you. All right, so let's. I'm just gonna start.
This is one of those games where I'm just like, I didn't see any nice lines that were just really attractive with good odds on it and whatnot. So I didn't go too deep into this game, but I do think the 49ers win and probably cover, but it's close. So it could be close. I mean, the Falcons are a cover machine, so I don't want to go against them again like we did last week.
Yeah, and it's in Atlanta, so like I always caution people. It's not to say that, because obviously like you can see some of these games where like the better team is just the better team, and it doesn't matter where they're playing. But there are times where looking for a cover, and you're trying to bet the home team to lose by more than that number. Sometimes that's a tough proposition. They find a way to playing off that energy and everything else to keep it closer than you would think. So, and 4.5 is not a huge spread, but I mean, look at what Atlanta did backdooring Tampa Bay a couple of weeks ago. So or was that last week? That was last week.
Backdooring every week.
Everybody every week. But I'm just saying, like specifically that Tampa Bay game, because Tampa Bay is like a way better better team than any of the. They're more like San Francisco in that sense. So let's go. Let's look. Speaking of Tampa Bay, let's look at this Buccaneers Steelers matchup.
One thing that is interesting, the 49ers stayed on the East Coast after their game last week.
Yeah,
and Kyle Shanahan's teams are 7-0. They're 7-0 straight up. I'm pretty sure after when they stay East for 2 games, it's either 7-0 straight up or 7-0 against the spread.
Okay, so minus 210 straight up, and you get the 4.5 there. It might be worth teasing that down to like 2.5, so you can just get a field goal, and then you're still be in like the minus 130, minus 150 range, somewhere in that neighborhood. All right, so let's get into this Tampa Bay game. My schedule here showed Atlanta and San Francisco at the top. We'll just go with FanDuel's schedule from here on out, and that way we can kind of stay on top of things here. What do you have, or do you have anything for the Buccaneers Steelers matchup here? Because I actually like the Steelers to cover this number. I think that we're getting some recency bias from that blowout with Buffalo last week, and playing in Pittsburgh. Yeah. Kenny Pickett's second start. I think they get some things right, and he kept fighting last week. You got to give him credit. And Tampa Bay has shown a propensity for, like that Atlanta game we talked about, letting teams, stay in games that they shouldn't be in. So what do you think?
Well, I like the Steelers here to cover. I think what is it now? Plus 10?
Mm-hmm.
It's been creeping up all week. It was like plus 7.5 earlier, or plus 8.5 before. Now it's plus 10. So I like them here in this spot. They haven't been home underdogs at home a lot lately in the last 20 years, as long as I've been alive, pretty much.
Yeah.
I think they're 17-4-1 against the spread as home underdogs in the last 20 years. So they're in a pretty unfamiliar territory. There hasn't been many situations like this in the last 20 years. It's only the 22nd time. But I like them to cover here, man. The Bucs haven't looked great. They haven't looked like they've been able to finish games and finish out covers and whatnot, even when they do win. Like we just talked about last week with the Falcons.
Yep.
And the Steelers, I mean, there's a little market, a little market like disfavor on the Steelers right now because the Bills smoked them last week. But I'll tell you what, man, the Bills are not the Bucks. You know what I mean?
Right.
The Bucks are not the Bills, I should say. They're not going to just do that to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now, granted, I'm not saying the Steelers are a good team. They're not. They're a pretty bad football team all around.
Right.
They have no run game. They got a rookie quarterback in there who just got thrown into the fire. Defense is not playing up to par as we thought they probably would. That would be the only thing keeping them in games is their defense. But I think in this game they'll get it together. The Bucks have no rushing game, so the Steelers can kind of use their skill guys in that defensive backfield to focus on those receivers. And I like them to cover.
So what do you like props wise? Anything?
So far this season, I just have one more thing on that.
Oh,
but so far this season, it's actually we talk about the public money all the time, but sometimes it lends credence, but sometimes it doesn't mean anything, and it's just a bunch of blabber. But so far in the NFL this year, teams that are getting 60% or more of the money are 12-25 against the spread right now, and right now the Bucks are getting 62%. 66% and up are 7-14 against the spread right now. And they were at 66% as of yesterday. So they're at 62 right now. I'm just throwing that out there for what it's worth.
Well, so to that point, like, so it's just to say, like, fading the public isn't necessarily always the right thing to do, because obviously 7-14 or whatever the other number was, 12-29 or whatever the number was, those are not 100%, right? But it suggests that when the money's all on one side, fading the public is not a bad idea.
Yeah,
well, I mean, win more than you lose.
But here's the thing:
it's that overweighted one way or the other.
Yeah, exactly. Tennessee taught us though that's not just set in stone, and you don't just fade the public blindly all the time. I was just throwing out those numbers because they're interesting trends there. But Tennessee had like 85% of the money, and they went out there and won that game.
Yeah,
made us all some money. So
shout out to Nick Saban getting dunked again. Yep, love it.
But I didn't have any no player props really jump out at me in this one. I didn't want to just do what we like last week. We threw out a million.
Threw out a bunch of stuff. I appreciate that, because I think like we hit on a bunch of them, and I feel like we hit on more of the ones that we were a little more.
We hit on the ones that we actually like really were confident in. The other ones we kind of just threw out there. Some of those didn't hit. But I didn't want to just. I mean, I'll probably play some things in this game as I look through. Right before kickoff and everything, but. Nothing that jumped out that I wanted to back. You know what I mean?
All right. So let me kill this Jeff Wilson thing here. All right. So Jags Colts. So I think it's Jonathan Taylor and Naheem Hines are both out for this game. Last I saw. So what are we looking at for props here, if anything? It seems like it's going to have to be Matt Ryan in the passing game if they're going to do anything.
Yeah, I'm looking closely at Alec Pierce. I know it's kind of the kind of like riding the hot hand, and probably a lot of people putting some money towards his props this week because of his Thursday night performance. He was like the only performer pretty much in that entire game. So there's some hype coming in on him. I understand that, so I probably won't throw like 2-3 units at this or anything. I'm gonna play it a little safe. Just because, I know I'm taking like the public hot hand in this one, but I love it. I love the matchup. I love the fact that he's asserting himself as like a real number 2 in this league as a rookie right now. And Matt Ryan's loving him. Every time he goes to him, he catches the rock. So it's like, why would you not keep throwing his way, especially after the last 2 or 3 performances by him? They had the reason
you like the 45.5.
That's what attracted me to him is this over 45.5 receiving yards for -110 on BetMGM. I don't know what it's showing on FanDuel right now, but
it's -110 for 45.5.
Yeah, so you're getting a pretty solid number at 45.5. His last 3 games have been 61, 80, and 81. And so now we only need 46 now, and he's got the second most targets on the Colts, like I said, becoming the number 2, the clear number 2 in Indianapolis for Matt Ryan. And the Jags pass defense is very, very, very regular. Like there is nothing that impresses me about the Jags pass defense. I know we rode the Jags train for like a good 2-3 weeks, the first 3 weeks, because they were looking solid.
Their defense still looks good. It's
but not
Trevor
pass
Lawrence.
defense. They're bottom of the pack in it. They as a whole, that's why I specified the passing, because as a whole, their defense is all right. But it's very regular in the passing game. They don't really get a pass rush, which will help Matt Ryan out because he can't move at all. He's a fucking statue back there. Right. But they don't really get a pass rush, so we're not worried about that. And they allow yards left and right. They're like 20th or 19th, 21st, and like all those passing defense numbers. So, I mean, I'll take this matchup any day over 45.5 receiving yards.
All right. What about this? What about the receptions 3.5? You okay with playing both of those, or you just like those?
Yeah, I mean, yardage? if you're gonna play the yards, I feel like you might as well play 3.5. Because you're probably gonna need 4 to get those yards without Pierce. So yeah, I don't hate that either. I'm back in the yards, but I might think about playing the catches also. It wouldn't be a bad play, especially if you're playing the yards anyway.
That won't be an official play then. All right.
But I am going to play him anytime touchdown too. I think this is his week to get his first touchdown of his career, which is plus 280 right now on FanDuel. Well, it was last night, plus 280.
Yeah, let's look at it. Anytime. Where are we at? Yeah, 290 now.
Yeah, see, I like it. I just think it's a good opportunity for him to get his first. It's a little juiced up probably because obviously they got shut out by the Colts by the Jags last time. But that was in Jacksonville. This is a different game now. And I think he'll get his first touchdown tonight with that 45.5 yards as well.
Yeah. All right. Good stuff. All right. So you got anything on the Jacksonville side or no?
No, not really. I think the Colts. I think the Colts probably win. It's a little bit of a revenge game after that 24-0 shutout. I would take the Colts to win. But here's this: the Jags are in another similar situation. Jags are plus 1.5 right now, but getting 61% of the bets at that. So we got that 60% or over 12 and 25 so far. So I'm just gonna monitor these and see how they do. So I have the same trends for next week too. So
yeah. So this one here, I actually, we talked about this early in the week. I liked the Bengals minus 1.5 at the very early part of the week. I think I still like them at minus 3. Like I like them by a touchdown or at least, within that, 4 to 7 range. So I still like Cincinnati in this one, but I'm curious, you're going to have Marshawn Lattimore probably playing on Jamar Chase a good bit. Looks like T. Higgins is going to be back. They're saying he looks like he's good to go. So what do you see matchups wise here? And do you see a path for either Taysom Hill to do something in this game where it's going to be something crazy? Or do you think like we fade the explosion he had last week and stay away from him and maybe look to I'm
definitely fading the Taysom Hill explosion. I'm staying away from that. He, historically, he hasn't been a consistent guy. Now, is it his fault all the way? No, I'm not saying that. I'm not saying he's inconsistent, but him getting the opportunities, him getting the touches is a bit inconsistent at times. So I mean, honestly, I probably have never played a Taysom Hill prop in my life. I would be surprised if I did. Like I might have played like anytime touchdowns for him before or something like that, because that way he can get it while he's at quarterback, running back, or tight end. I don't care. You know what I mean?
Right.
But
I don't know. It's feast or famine guy there is.
It's shaky, like, I mean, the fact that they allow people to start him at tight end in fantasy is like, all right, that's probably always a good play because he'll get some rushing yards and whatnot. All right, I can dig that, but I'm not gonna play him in player props probably ever. Because I don't know, he might get the rock 2 times today. He might get the rock 8 times tomorrow.
Right. Well, that's what I was going to say. Really even that 60-yarder that he busted off last week, like he almost got tackled 3 times on that run. And like if he gets tackled at any point along that path, he's coming out of the game, and somebody else is getting the rock for the next 5 touches. So it's just it's very feast or famine. So yeah.
So On I don't know if FanDuel. I don't think FanDuel gives these over under on field goals made props.
Okay.
See if you could find. There's kicking props there, but I don't think it has. It usually has like total kicking points instead of
Yeah, it's just kicker points.
Yeah, so I'm heading over to BetMGM for this one.
Okay.
But they got Will Lutz at over 1.5 field goals made plus 110.
Interesting.
Now,
Okay.
here's the thing. All right, I know he's not having a good season. He's 5 for 9 on the season in 5 weeks. So he's averaging 1 per game and not at a high rate as he making these. He's pretty bad. 5 for 9. That's not good as an NFL kicker. And so I get that. All right, but he's in a very good spot in this game against the Bengals. The Bengals are 8th in red zone defense, allowing touchdowns. Once the team gets to the red zone, they're 8th at not letting them into the end zone from the red zones. 41% of the time, team score a touchdown on them. But that other 60%, they got to kick a field goal or it's a turnover, right? The reason that he's only attempted 9 field goals and he's only made 5 on the season is because the Saints are 2nd on the offensive end in that same stat. So they get the ball into the end zone 80% of the time. I'm fading that, though, today against this Bengals defense.
Okay.
And so this is why. In Bengals games so far, I'm going to run through their whole season so far, right?
Yep.
Steelers, 3 for 4 field goals. Cowboys, 2 for 2 field goals. Jets, 4 for 4 field goals. Dolphins, 3 for 4 field goals. Ravens, 4 for 4 field goals. These guys are allowing about 3 per game.
Yeah, a little over 3. Yeah, because you have a 2, a bunch of 4s, and 1 3 in there.
Exactly.
So it's like a little north of 3. And they're making it's just about whether or not he makes them. So what you don't like the 6.5 over, where that's just 2 field goals and a PAT?
At what number?
That's minus 102. Minus 102. I mean, it's
not
as good money.
It's still worth taking at this point. If I'm taking 2 field goals, I do imagine that Saints punch it in at least once for a touchdown. So that's not a bad call either.
Yeah, I'm just saying for somebody who can't get on that, don't have that MGM or whatever.
I would back that too. I mean, I think they're gonna get at least a touchdown, so he'll have an extra point also and 2 field goals. That works for me. Okay. I would take it.
Yeah, gotcha.
Yeah, but I mean, that jumped out at me because I was like, "Whoa, the Bengals!" I mean, everybody kicks field goals all over them. That's all. That's how they get their points against the Bengals. So I'm fading the Saints offense a little bit on this one. I'm trusting the Bengals defense to get some stops, and I'm trusting Will Lutz to get it together and do what he's supposed to be doing out there and hit some field goals for us today.
Okay. Wait, there goes the dogs. Apparently, the Saints are going to win this game. Who knows?
I'll tell you why they think that.
Someone's walking in front of my house, so it's just like this is how it's going to be. So it's idiots.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jed.
This is what happens, though. Well, I guess I got to bet the Saints now. Shit,
dogs are barking, and I'll tell you why, Chad. It's because 76% of people agree with you right now
on the Bengals.
Yep.
Oh shit. Okay. Well, man.
So that's one where I was just telling you that 7-14 against the spread when you get 66% or more.
Yeah,
I wish I had the 75% or more stats because that's a high number right there. But like I said, last night Tennessee had 75-80% and they won. So it's not, I'm not saying that means the Bengals are losing. I'm just throwing it out there.
Yeah.
So you're aware and everyone watching is aware.
Yep. All right, so moving right along. Do you have anything for the Bengals offense or anything like that, or do you think some of this stuff is maybe overplayed because it's like Jamar Chase and T. Higgins are so expensive most of the time on this stuff. I mean, they're a lot of times they're cash money, but it's just you're asking a lot. Let's do passing props. You want touchdowns or yards?
Touchdowns. What is
I'm pretty sure it's going to be 1.5 at 102. Minus 102 for 1.5 touchdowns.
Okay, so on points bet right now, you're getting plus 105 for that same bet, and I kind of like that. I think they'll be able to get to in. He's had 2 or 3 most of the games this year. So yeah, I think. I mean, I'm not fully backing that or anything, but I like it. Well, I took a look at it.
Yeah, and I look at like what Geno. The Saints have given up some big plays. They've given up some, some stuff in the passing game. Tyler Lockett and Geno Smith were going off on the Saints last week, so I could see that happening. I want to look at some of these receiving props though too, because I think let's see, where are we receiving yard? Okay, Jamar Chase 82.5. Yeah, see what I mean? Now it's like these numbers get kind of inflated now. T. Higgins is not even on the list. What I have read is that he is supposed to play. So I don't know if he'll get added late or if you're just not going to be able to play him and you just have no chance of getting those yards. But you see, I got my LSU. Shout out to the LSU guys, Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. But this could be perhaps not the best time to play, because it's hard to pick sometimes. If it's especially with Lattimore, if he shadows Jamar Chase, it could be interesting. One thing I will say though is, so Jamar Chase played at Archbishop Rummel in New Orleans, and like he's going back home. Like this is a return home. He's probably gonna have tons of family and friends in the stands. Who knows how many other players gave him their comp tickets, so that he could have as many people as possible at this game. So
Yep.
that could be really interesting. And so I may look at this plus 110 anytime touchdown and maybe that over on the yards, because I think they're going to try to find a way to get him off, because he's playing in front of his home crowd.
Yeah, definitely.
And they might move him into places where Lattimore can't stay with him everywhere. Because that you saw that a little bit with Mike Evans. Lattimore really shuts down Mike Evans, but what Tampa Bay does is they'll just move Evans away from Lattimore at times.
Yeah.
I think it also depends on how, if T. Higgins is available, then you got to pick your poison with Lattimore. Do you have him just to follow Jamar Chase and let T. Higgins go off on you, or do you kind of mix things up? So we'll see what Dennis Allen does, but I like going after that, just as like a little shot in the dark play. I think it's got some pretty good opportunities. Now, what would be interesting here is 2+ touchdowns. What do we got for Jamar Chase? Plus 650. I might sprinkle a tiny bit on that, just because, again, this is is he going to go off metric, basically, and I think, and I would look at his possibly his alternate yards too. Let's look at that real quick. Bear with me for a second, because this is just me kind of going through this theory that I have on Chase. So, man, we do have more. All right, so 100+ yards is plus 174. So like a parlay of like the 90+ at 120, and then the touchdown. I'm gonna have to clear all this other stuff. Let me just clear it. All right, I'm gonna clear those. So I just want to see what this looks like. All right, so Chase at 90 yards. Or let's take just the standard props. Let's tease it down a little bit. I still think he's gonna go off, but let's just see. All right, so he goes here, and then you got him anytime touchdown. That's plus 211 for the parlay. That's not outstanding. I actually for my money, I would like to go back to the thing that I said, where it's like, I'm going to go for he's going to go off parlay. So I'm going 2 touchdowns. And this is one of those where you just drop $5 on it, and then you just cross your fingers that he does have that monster game. Because that's what I'm talking about is, I'm not guaranteeing he's going to have a monster game. I'm just saying I could see it happening. And you go here. What is it? Oh shit! I did yards and yards.
Just unclick the other one.
Take this one out. Yeah, I got to take that one out, and then what did I say? 100. All right. Yeah. So now we're at 1185. So we're at 12-1 on this one. I like that. I like 12-1 odds. Like, drop me $5 to win 60. Okay. $5 to win 60 on Jamar Chase getting 100 yards and 2 touchdowns in front of his family.
And if that hits, that most likely means Joe Burrow hits too on those touchdowns.
That's right.
So,
that's right.
So
exactly.
I'm with you. I'm rooting for you, Chad. Hell yeah.
That's right. So this is not an official play. This is just one of those, like, if this thing hits though, and it makes cash, just remember, like, $5 could have won you 60. I'm not saying throw $50 at it, because this is you're going to lose that $50 most likely.
I gave out a
I'm prepared to lose $5 for that.
I gave out an ATS spread on TikTok that has the Saints covering in it. Let me go find the rest of it though.
Okay.
I had the Steelers plus 10, Ravens minus 5.5, Saints plus 3.5 and the Seahawks plus 3.5 in a parlay. That's at plus 867. So you're getting some good value there for those 4 picks. I just gave that out on TikTok, and this was a part of it, so I just wanted to give it a little shout out there while we were at it.
All right.
Follow us on
Sounds
TikTok
good.
at Men of Order Media. I'm going to be putting
Absolutely.
a lot more content on there as well.
AG's killing it over there. What's up, Sketch? What's up, Natasha? I see y'all. All right.
Thanks.
So
what up, guys?
So let's go. You got anything for the Jets-Packers game?
Yeah, I do. I like I really like Breece Hall here in the passing game after last week. I mean, the guy got you 100 yards on 2 catches, that big 79-yard, and he's been consistently, or I should say inconsistently, a big part of the passing game. He had 6 twice already, 6 catches twice already.
Over 19.5 is minus 110. So, we got no alts for him. Oh, that sucks.
Yeah, you won't have alts for his yards probably.
It would be cool if you did, though.
Well, I'm looking at his catches. I think they're going to go to him a lot more and try to help Zach Wilson out back there with some easy dump offs. They've been throwing to Breece Hall and Michael Carter, but after last week, I think they stopped. I think they put Breece in more for the passing plays than Michael Carter. Just because he proved to you I mean, Zach Wilson had 210 yards last week, and 100 of those were from 2 catches by Breece Hall.
Yeah.
Now the one was a 79-yarder. Obviously, he broke that one, right? But that means the other one was a 21-yarder. So it's like your little dump offs for Breece Hall, and they can see that he's getting yards. I think they go to him quite a few times tonight. His normal reception line that most books are given is like 2.5. Is that
he's not even on FanDuel. That's what I was going to say. Like so go away from FanDuel, go somewhere else.
I was even better. So on other books, he was 2.5 on catches over under, but that was at minus money, and I think he'll get that. So if you're confident in the 2.5 instead of what I'm about to say, go play that, because I think he definitely gets 3. But I'm going to go on Bet 365, where you can kind of ladder his catches. So they have this thing, it's like catch milestones. So you can go like 4+ catches, 5+ catches, 6+ catches. You can just bet on that. And 4+ was plus 210 a couple days ago when I was looking at it. So I don't know what it is exactly right now because I didn't go to place to bet yet, but I'm gonna after we get off of this. But 4+ catches, I mean, he's gonna get this today. I love that play. I love it after last week. He's had 6 twice this season, like I said. The 79-yarder last week. This is just a gut feeling play right here. Like I don't have numbers to back it up. He hasn't been super consistent, but after last week, like if I'm the OC, I'm going to him in the passing game for screenplays and dump offs and things of that nature.
I'm trying to see if I can find him in DraftKings.
Well, I'll tell you right now. Hold on 1 second.
Receptions. Breece Hall 2.5. They don't have alt receptions for.
That's him. That's Bet 365.
No. I'm just saying. I was just saying.
I think that's the only place.
So -2 or minus 130 for 2.5 receptions. So I think AG's onto something. Like the betting public, the sports books are even onto this idea that like 2.5 is too few, because for it to be minus 130, it's like, man, well, give us another. Can we have another option? Can we have plus 3.5 and make it a plus bet? Why you gotta?
Yeah, and the best number you're gonna get on that is Bet Rivers at minus 121. The rest are in the minus 130s for 2.5. Right. But yeah, I'm pretty sure. I think Bet 365 is the only place that I've ever seen the catches. You can ladder the catches. So I'm playing it over there. That's what I'm playing.
Okay. You got anything else?
Yeah, I'm not like super confident in this one. This one is kind of a lean, but I am gonna play it. So I'll make it a play, but it's kind of a lean. So be careful. Don't put a unit on it. Do a half unit if that's how you bet or whatever. What I'm saying is don't put your bankroll at it. I'm not 100% confident in this one, but I do like the angle. Elijah Moore under 36.5 receiving yards today against this Packers defense here.
All right.
Is that still what
under
it is?
36.5? Well, this is FanDuel's 35.5, but
Yeah. All right. Well, yeah. If you can get here, you can get under 36.5. I'll tell you where. 1 second.
Okay.
Elijah Moore under 30. You can get under 36.5 on DraftKings and BetMGM and Caesars and BetRivers. So
Okay, yeah. It's
you know,
minus
just in case
120.
you want to save. Oh, and you're getting better numbers on these at 36.5. You're getting minus 110. So
Okay, that's good.
and
That's on
minus
BetMGM.
106 on Caesars. So that's the best number
Okay.
you're getting if you're
Okay.
taking the under. If you want to
And
take
I
the
ain't
over and
opening.
fade me,
I'm not that big of a degenerate where I'm going to have like 8 different gambling accounts so I can play all these. It's just,
oh well, I mean
it's just
that's
crazy.
honestly
But yeah,
this
I
is what
got you.
makes you not a degenerate. This is how you got to play these numbers,
No, that's
man.
true.
They're
That's true.
giving you a better deal.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
want
yeah.
to actually make an income on it. That's how you got to do it. You know,
No, for
I mean,
real.
you think about it, you're just losing cents left and
It's all
right if you're only
arbitrage.
using one.
Yeah,
Yeah, you're
absolutely.
just losing cents left and right. But
Mhm.
the reason I like this is because it's only hit 1 out of 5 games. This is why I said put a small bet, and I'm not the most
Mhm.
confident in this one. It's only hit in 1 out of 5 so far this season. But
Yeah.
in only 7 games without Zach Wilson in his career, Elijah Moore has averaged 5 catches, 68 yards, and 4 touchdowns in those 7 games. With Zach Wilson at quarterback, in 9 games, he only has 1 touchdown and is averaging 2.6 catches and 29.6 yards. I don't know what's going on there, but
Mhm.
he ain't getting the rock with Zach Wilson. And it's
Right.
probably because Zach Wilson ain't that good of a quarterback.
Yeah.
He's not getting him the rock. I mean, we saw Garrett Wilson's production significantly drop when Zach Wilson came back. You
Mhm.
know, everybody that I loved what Garrett Wilson was doing, man. I'm sitting here
Yeah.
like, bring Flacco back. I want to
Right.
keep betting on Garrett Wilson. And they got us last week with that Garrett Wilson prop. And I should have thought about it, man. I should have factored in the fact that Zach Wilson is not very good. So yeah, I mean I like this play also. It's not my most confident one, but I think it could hit.
Word. Gotcha. All right. You got anything else for this one? Or are you ready to move?
Nah, that's it for that one.
All right. So let me kill this. All right. So we got Green Bay. I mean, I'm sorry, not Green Bay. New England at Cleveland. This is
I think this is where you say Nick Chubb anytime touchdown.
Yes. I was gonna say that's the only thing I can think of for this game is right here, minus 125. Lock it in. That's the only thing I got is every week I'm gonna say Nick Chubb anytime touchdown because it's worth it because it's gonna pay you off more than it's not. So yeah, that's
Well, I'm gonna play something else also with
me.
I'm gonna play something else also with Nick Chubb.
All right.
They're giving us over 19.5 for his longest rush.
Okay. 20.5 on FanDuel for
it was 19 last night. Damn. Well, I'll still take that at 20.5 though.
Yeah, minus
I'll still take that.
114. Still, it's not super attractive, but it's solid. All right, so Chubb long, and that is 20.5. And that is minus 114. All right. So yeah, so it's so like if I parlay these two, it's saying I can't parlay these two.
Yeah, it's the longest rush. You gotta go and bet 365 for that. I tell you this every week, Jed.
I know. I just
but the reason I love this, I mean, I don't know. They're giving us this number because it's the Pats defense. So they're going a little low on Nick Chubb here. But when you really think about it, the Pats defense, they're good, but they're a little overhyped.
Yeah.
I mean, they're 23rd in defensive yards per carry, and Chubb is 6th in yards per carry offensively. So you know, I like this. I think he'll get a breakout play. He's had one every week so far. 41, 28, 36, 22, 25. I'll take 20.5.
There you go. Yeah. And he's got that ability to like he slips tackles. He finds a way to make himself small when he needs to. He's got some elusiveness, lateral agility that is to be envied. Like because I compare him because they were playing roughly the same era. I think actually exactly the same era when they were in college, and Leonard Fournette and Nick Chubb at LSU and Georgia. And Fournette, for as powerful as he is and as much as he just was trucking people and has like some really good breakaway speed when he gets out into the open field. He does not have that elusiveness. That his hips are a little stiffer than Nick Chubb's. Chubb just, and you saw it last week with that run he had against the Chargers, where he took it down the sideline and just like he turned that corner and it was over.
Exactly.
So it's always a possibility. So I like that. And I like, go find a place where you can parlay that, the 20+ yard longest rush and that anytime touchdown. If it's anything like last week, they might hit on the same play. So
exactly.
You never know. So moving right along, we got the Vikings and the Dolphins. We are, golly, there's so many early games today. Considering that it's a bye week, what are there, like 2 late games today or something? We have 1, 2, 3, 4. No, I'm sorry, 3. 4 o'clock starts. Yeah, and then everything else is prime time. Man. All right, so here we are. We are nearing the home stretch here on the early games. What do you got for this Vikings Dolphins game? Tua is still out, and Teddy Bridgewater is cleared to play, but he's going to back up Skyler. So, like, what do you see in this game with the Dolphins offense? And is the play just to go Jordan Jefferson?
Yes, potentially.
Justin Jefferson. My bad.
But no, but yes, potentially. I know what you meant. Yeah, you can't. Aren't they both LSU guys? Wasn't there a Jordan Jefferson? There you go. Yeah, so I get it, Chad. You're good. Don't worry. We're not judging you. Yeah, I definitely I like Kirk Cousins in this one. Actually, his yards, just because of the number they're giving us. Now I know we're not the biggest Kirk Cousins fans here on this channel, but they're giving me 260.5. Is that what they're still giving you?
Well, yards 258.5 minus.
No, even better. Damn, it's minus 110 now. So on points bet 260.5 plus 100 if you want to go play some good value there. Yeah. But he's hit 260 plus in 4 out of 5. This is part of the video I did yesterday as well. But he's hit this in 4 out of 5. The only miss was against that Eagles defense, who's pretty solid. So I don't hate the fact that he missed one. And this Dolphins team, their secondary shaken up. They don't even know who's playing in the secondary today. And I damn sure don't. Kirk Cousins doesn't. All he knows is Justin Jefferson is down there, and
it's not got a bunch of
backups running around back there. And it's not a primetime game. And the Dolphins are already 28th in defensive yards per game, passing 276. So we only need 261 at plus 100. I'll take that any day of the week.
All right, Cousins 261 plus at plus. You said it's plus 100 on the money. All right, so or 260.5 is the over under, right? All right, so we got that yards. All right, so Cousins. So I'm gonna look at Jefferson and see what Justin Jefferson's numbers look like, because sometimes it's just too much. 89.5. That's not terrible. What's his touchdown prop looking like? Jefferson plus 100. I mean, I'm trying to make a case for not taking that, but I'm having a hard time doing it. I kind of feel like that's a good play. But let's just put this one on the screen, because this is the one that you had called out. Now this is what's available on FanDuel. It's over 258.5 at minus 110. But as AG said, you can go to some other spots and get that 260.5 and get better money on that.
I mean, hey, if you want to eat those 200 coins right there for 2 yards, by all means, go ahead and use FanDuel. Right. But now watch, he's gonna sandwich right in between that, and I'm gonna get fucks just because I said that. But it's all good.
Yeah. So I like that. So I'm looking at this too. This is an interesting one here. Minus 1.5 is not where I would go, but if there were, so they don't have, all they have is alt passing yards. They don't have alt TDs. You got to shop these sites, people. I know I was kind of kidding around about how, I don't want to have all these, but I do have 3. I have FanDuel, I have DraftKings, and I have BetMGM. And it does help. I will go and I will shop these lines, and I'll see where I can get the best bang for my buck, because either you want to tease the number more favorable, or if the number's close enough, like you just said with the yardage, with that, like for 2 yards, no, give me the extra money.
Yeah,
If
right.
I'm making a 50-50 bet anyway, I might as well get better money for it.
And
So,
listen, if I get burnt on that, I'm cool with that, because if I'm playing
right,
it that way, if I'm playing things that way
long
every week,
term,
every time I bet, long
yeah,
term, I'm gonna make out. Even if you have a better record than me on those, if I get sandwiched
mhm,
more than you win on your lower number, I'm still gonna end up with more money, most likely, because of the
yeah,
number I'm getting. And that,
right,
you know,
right,
that makes sense what I
yeah.
said.
If
I
you
don't know
make
if I
enough,
worded that the right way,
no,
but
if you make enough
you
bet,
get what I'm saying.
you got to make it up on volume. That's the only thing. All right, so T
Exactly. Well,
Higgins is
volume and
active.
value.
Yeah, T Higgins is active. Kyle Pitts is active, and Chris Olave is inactive. With the concussion protocol. That's one of the things that's always weird to me. Like,
See, that
you gotta,
fucks me on the Saints a little bit. Like, that
yeah.
makes me a little more
I
worried,
thought
but
I
I
told you
still
about
do
that.
like the Saints, though.
I
I
told you.
still
I
do
thought I
like the
told you that.
Saints a little.
I thought I told you Olave was out before we started today. But
No, you
yeah,
did. But I was just saying in general. Like, I don't
yeah,
think I mentioned that before, but that is a concern. But I still do
yeah.
like the Saints to at least cover. So
Right, right. All right. So, so now let's look at this Ravens Giants game here.
real quick,
So,
shout out to my boy Sal in the chat. He
all
said,
right.
"Yo, he just texted my group chat and he said, yo, my lays are going crazy today." So I said, hop in the chat, let's cook. So,
Yeah.
yo, Sal, what are your parlays? Yo, throw them in the chat. I'll pull them up. We'll talk about it. But yeah, go ahead.
Sure.
Giants, Ravens. I got a couple things for this one on the Ravens side. But Mark Andrews' line is moving. What's it at right now? Because it was moving up. It was on its way up.
On anytime touchdown or his
Receptions.
receptions. All right, let's go to here we go. Uh, 6.5, over 6.5, plus 126. Man, that's a lot. That's a high number. Like, he could have a really
What is
good
it?
game.
What is it now?
Over 6.5 at plus 126.
Yeah, see,
That's a lot of, man. He could still go off. He could go 6 for 120 and fail.
yeah. So this is one of those where, like, yeah, that could definitely hit, but I liked it a lot better at 5.5.
Yeah,
Which is what I had. Like, it was 5.5, so I had a little angle on that, but I saw it creeping up, so I was like, I might have to leave that one alone.
yeah.
But this is one of those where you go on Bet 365 and you ladder it down.
Right.
You know, if you like 5 better, go for 5+. If you like 6 better, go for 6+. You know, you'll probably still get a decent number on 6+. So I would take that. I mean, Giants versus Robert Tonyan last week, 8 catches for 41 yards and a touchdown. They're allowing 5 catches per game to tight ends right now, and they have not played a tight end like Mark Andrews. That's
no, right.
They're averaging that with playing against the Bears, Panthers, Titans, and they're still averaging 5 catches per. So I think Mark Andrews could get 7 at plus 126. I'll take it. It just gets a little high, so I'm not going to back it, but I might take it probably as with like a little bit of money,
Yeah, playing at MetLife, so it's going to be interesting. And the Giants are they are still, they're one of the they're not undefeated anymore, but they're one of the better teams in the East. And it's always interesting, these cross conference games and how they turn out. But we'll see how that one shakes out. I do like some Lamar Jackson action on the anytime touchdown. He's plus 135, and I could definitely see him walking one in. It's always, to me, that's a play that's always worth taking a stab at.
Yeah, and sorry, as a Ravens fan, like I pay attention to some Ravens games throughout the years since Lamar's been there. But one thing about him is when it's a big matchup like this, when they're doing good and the other team's really good, and it's like one of these hyped up matchups. I'm about to sneeze, so actually hold it down first.
I'm on pins and needles waiting to find out what AG is about to say about what we can expect from Lamar Jackson in these big matchups. I'm going to take a stab at it. I'm going to guess that he's going to say something along the lines of, this is one of those games where he's more likely to take it into his own hands and try to make the plays himself, and not necessarily I'm not going to say he's not going to trust his teammates, but I think sometimes he'll trust his legs more than he'll trust his own arm and his receiver's ability to pull those receptions down. Because you saw it, there were a couple of plays where he hit some receivers. And you saw it too with Justin Fields the other night, where he hit a receiver right in the hands and he just flat dropped it for a first down. And the frustration starts to kick in. And so when you got that kind of athletic ability, breakaway speed, and you're just like that elite, MVP caliber player like Lamar Jackson is, when it comes down to crunch time, I would not be surprised if he tucks it and runs, especially if they're at the 8 or something like that, somewhere in the red zone, first and goal, second and goal, third and goal. Play breaks down, not wanting to throw it into coverage, and just use his athletic ability and punch one in. I could see it. So what were you going to say, AG?
You nailed it. That's pretty much what I was going to say.
Okay.
But what I was going to say is like this is the type of games where he likes to get gritty. He likes to just get down and dirty and just make it happen. So pretty much exactly what you're saying. Like, just he's going to be a playmaker in this one,
right.
Which, obviously that's a good time to take a touchdown for him. I like his rush attempts. Is his rush attempts up there? Is it plus money? It was plus money on DraftKings.
Yeah, let me look. Hang on just a second. Oh, they only got Saquon on here. What the hell? They don't even have attempts for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah, FanDuel is weak.
FanDuel's
but
doo-doo, man.
It's just FanDuel's the easiest to navigate though. So it's like this makes sense to use FanDuel for this because it's just straightforward. Like it's easy to navigate.
Hell with that, I might start using. I use DraftKings all the time. I'm going to start using DraftKings for this show because
go for that too.
I can navigate it just fine, and it doesn't suck when it comes to the actual plays.
I should say DraftKings is also on the same level with FanDuel in navigation. They're hand in hand on that note. But
all right, so let me look at that rush receiving props. Let me go see if we got rush attempts.
Well, DraftKings.
Yeah. Do we not? Rush attempts, Lamar Jackson, 10.5 over. What? Damn. Over 10.5 for Lamar Jackson is minus 105. Jeez. That's a lot of rush attempts.
Damn.
Holy crap. So
it moved down to minus 105.
This makes me want the touchdown, anytime touchdown, even more. Because to me, that's screaming he's going to have the rock in his hand a lot. And some of that's going to be in the red zone. And I'm going to take my shot. I told you, bro,
this is the game. This is the type of games where he does that.
Yeah, I'm with it. All right, so
I got it down. I got it at plus 100 or plus 110 for the over 10.5 yesterday.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not fucking that. I'm going straight to anytime touchdown, Lamar Jackson, plus 135. Lock it in. I got that on. Oh, shoot. Here I am. All right. My apologies, folks. Let me do this real quick. Hang on. We're gonna make this all copacetic in a heartbeat here. I just got to change what window I'm sharing. So here we go. We are going straight to DraftKings. All right. So this is the bet that I'm placing right here. That one. Lamar Jackson plus 135, anytime touchdown. Let's go. That's the one. That's the one I want to see. I actually like this format better too. Damn, I'm with this all the way around. All right, so that's what I'm looking at. I like that a lot.
I'm taking this over 10.5 because he's hit it 3 for 3 in the last 3 on the season. He's been 6, 9, 11, 11, 12. The Giants are 25th in yards per attempt allowed, and Lamar leads the league in yards per carry right now. Mm-hmm. So why not go to him for that? Why not run plays and stuff like that?
Right.
The only running quarterback that the Giants have played so far was Justin Fields. He ran 7 times, but Justin Fields, although he doesn't pass at all, he does not run as much as Lamar either. So,
which
I think
is
Lamar
crazy.
run a little bit more. This is the number 7 rush offense. This is the number 7 rush offense versus the number 26 rush defense. So, it's just a matchup that the Ravens should exploit, especially on the perimeter with Lamar taking sweeps and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. Or even, when plays break down and he takes off, that's good for another 4 or 5 a game. I like this play. This over 10.5 rushing attempts.
Okay. All right. So let's. All right. So Lamar. 10 plus, 10.5 plus rushes. Yeah. And that is, where are we? Hang on, let me, I'm going to pull it up again so I can see where that is. I think it was minus 110, wasn't it? Where's the part? Bear with me, folks. Trying to find rush attempts. There we go. Lamar Jackson. Oh, minus 105. Okay, so minus 105. All right, so there we go. So that's that one. All right. You got anything else for this game? AG has departed yet again. What's up, man? All right.
No, that's it for this game.
Okay. All right. Let's go to next on the slate. We already did those. We already did that one. We already did that one. Are we done?
What?
Do we have
done?
Do we have? No. I mean, are we done with the? We did Bucs Steelers. Okay, so Panthers Rams. That's our last early game, and then we have the three.
Okay.
Then we have the 3 afternoon games. All right, so
Christian McCaffrey in this one. That's where I'm going. I put that in the video yesterday as well.
yeah,
Over 5.5 catches, plus 120 on DraftKings. Is it still plus 120 at over 5.5? While Chad looks at that, I'll tell you why I like it. The last 2 weeks, like I said last week on this exact show last week. So it was plus 120 yesterday. It's but plus 115, I still like it. 5.5. He had 9 and 7 in the last 2 weeks. Like we said, he had been getting involved in the offense, and Baker Mayfield finally figured out that he exists and is pretty damn good at catching the ball out of the backfield. But Baker Mayfield got hurt, so it's PJ Walker. Shout out to Jersey. I played against him back in the day. He was we were like top 15 in Jersey my sophomore year, and the only 2 games we lost were to PJ Walker quarterback teams. So I got respect for him. He beat us in the regular season and in the playoffs, and he was a 2-way quarterback playing safety too. So, I got to respect it. So I'm happy that he's fared well in his NFL career so far as a backup. He's done well when he's asked to go in the game. So that's cool. But his only start, or he didn't start the game. Cam started the game, but he got hurt really early. But PJ Walker, probably his best game of his career, was the only time he's been on the field for like a good amount of possessions. Like he was in for like 3.5 quarters in this game. The only once with Christian McCaffrey also healthy and in the game. In that game, Christian McCaffrey had 10 catches.
Wow. Okay.
It's a situation where you have your backup quarterback in, technically your third stringer, but the other, Sam Darnold's also hurt.
Right.
Technically your third stringer in the game, but he's your backup starter today. And you want to kind of, make the game easy for him. Against this Rams pass rush, dump offs, screen plays, things like that. Christian McCaffrey, over 5.5 catches at plus money. He had 10 in the last game, and it was all little zag routes or little angle routes or dump offs. So, I like this. I think they'll go to Christian McCaffrey left and right. Tyler Higbee also, I got that play on TikTok, so go check out our TikTok, Men of Order Media. But I like his catches prop also.
All right, so where's Higbee on here? 5.5 minus 115. All right, so Higbee, and that like you said, that one's on the TikTok account, the official Men of Order TikTok account. Go check it out. Give us a sub there. So McCaffrey and Higbee, that's actually not a bad little play to find. If you can find a single game parlay with where you can get something like that, you gotta hunt around for it and everything, because it's
Bet 365.
Yeah, Bet 365 is probably the place to go. All right, so let's
tell
clear
you, bro,
these.
They let you do whatever the fuck you want, man. That's why I keep shouting them out.
Yeah, I just can't do it. I can't do it in
a parlay,
Louisiana.
dude.
I can't use it in Louisiana. So, all right, so let's go to our afternoon slate of games real quick as we continue. So that's actually one of them. All right, so Arizona, Seattle. You got anything there? We still riding the Geno Smith train.
I like the Seahawks. I'm not riding the Geno Smith train on touchdowns or anything, just because they're giving minus 150 for the same number. So I don't like that at all. But I like the Seahawks. I think they're probably going to win this game. I'm going to take them to cover to play safe, but Sprinkle the money line if you want.
Yeah, that money line's not tasty enough. I would just probably take the points.
That's what I'm gonna do.
That's just all right. So Seattle
but
plus
I do
2.5.
think they have a good chance of winning. So I'll consider playing that if you like what I'm about to say. But look, we get it. Seahawks defense is terrible. Cardinals offense is terrible. Seahawks offense is solid. Cards defense is average at the very best. I think that's a matchup situation where Cardinals just won't be able to keep up with the Seahawks, even though the Seahawks defense has been bad. I mean, I've seen nothing except for in the last quarter of games down 17 that impressed me about the Cardinals offense.
Right.
So if the Seahawks go up 17, slam the Cardinals probably, but until then, I like the Seahawks. The Seahawks are number 1 in yards per play offensively right now. The Cards 21st in defensive yards per play. Wow. So they're going to be just nickel and diming them all the way down the field, in my opinion. And an interesting trend in this series, particularly in this NFC West matchup here, the underdog is 11-2-1 against the spread in their last 14 matchups between these two teams.
Wow.
So, I mean, that's pretty. I mean, it's not like a huge amount of data in games, but I mean, that's a big difference right there in those games.
For sure. Yeah. Well, and I think the other thing too is that Seattle, playing in Seattle, the 12th man, all that stuff. We've talked about it before. I know it's different when it's not a primetime game, but this is still a team that plays really, really well at home. Rashad Penny being out for the year, I think takes a little bit of a ding, but I think that actually opens them up to just be more pass happy. What's up, nerd? Go Bills. Yeah, look, that's the next game up on the slate, man. So hang tight, share it with Bills Nation. Share the show with Bills Nation so they can see we're about to get into that one right now, because that is the matchup of the day. I think today gets really juicy around 4:00 Eastern time, because that's when you got the Bills Chiefs game, and then the nightcap is that what should be a really, really interesting and fun matchup between the Cowboys and Eagles. We already talked about the Cowboys-Eagles game earlier in the week, so you can check our episode on that one. We're not going to cover that one here today, but we're going to get into this Bills-Chiefs matchup right now, unless AG has another play for the Seahawks game.
No, that's all I got. I like the Seahawks to control the game here, so that's about it. I don't want to play any player props just because none of the numbers jumped out at me as good value. Yeah, there's a lot on the board that I think can hit, like Geno Smith, that can hit. But at minus 150, it's just not worth taking it. There's much better plays on the board this Sunday. So
yeah, for real. All right, so let's get right into it, because this is the game of the century rematch. I don't think we've seen a better playoff game in the history of the National Football League, or a better 10 minutes of a playoff game in the history of the playoffs in the NFL. This one is one that I think there's still some bad blood. There's no Tyreek Hill this time, but there's still some weapons. And Travis Kelce got his 4 touchdowns last week. So I look for Valdez-Scantling and maybe Juju Smith-Schuster and some little Nicole Hardeman action to try to make up for that. But I actually really think that the play in this game is with Von Miller. I think you've got some real good opportunities for Clyde Edwards-Helaire and maybe Jerick McKinnon out of the backfield for some receptions. But I like the Bills side in this game. I think I've got a model that I've been working on. AG knows about this, and I'm not ready to reveal it yet to put all this stuff out there. But I actually have the Bills. My model has the Bills favored pretty significantly in this game. Now, it being at Arrowhead, it might change that a little bit. We'll see how that plays out. But I'm really interested to see what AG has player props wise. I have the Bills winning this game and covering the 2.5 point spread, but player props wise, I think there's a lot of really juicy stuff on the Bills side that I want AG to kind of give us his thoughts on.
So I agree with you. I think that the Bills are the better team. I think that they are, they're in a prime position to dominate and not dominate, but dominate the control of the game in this situation here with the Chiefs. But everybody is on the Bills right now. Everybody in the media world. It scares me. It scares me. I don't want to take them because I agree. I think they should win the game. Everything on football and everything on paper would tell you that they will win the game. But there is not one person in the media right now saying Chiefs, Chiefs, Chiefs. It's all Bills right now. And that worries me. What do you think, Chad? That's all I've seen all week. Revenge game. Bills are going to get their payback. No Tyreek anymore. The Bills have looked phenomenal. The Chiefs are looking shaky. Bills are going to win. I agree. You guys are right. But why are you all saying it?
Yeah, see, I think the opposite. I think the Bills have had their moments where they've looked shaky, and I think that the Chiefs have actually, like, you go back to that game 2 weeks ago, they lit up Tampa Bay and Brady, and like they kind of let them hang in and like backdoor their way into only losing by 10, but they were in control of that game, and they granted they let Oakland get out to that big lead early, but then they did I say Oakland? I said Oakland. Vegas. They let the Raiders.
Yeah, Vegas.
My bad, Raider Nation. My bad, Raider Nation. I know y'all out here. I apologize for the slander, but yeah, I saw them. They jumped out to that big lead, and then the Chiefs just came back. Once Mahomes and that offense gets running, Andy Reid is so good at drawing up mismatches that it makes them really hard to defend. The biggest thing that I'll say is I think the Bills defensive front is uniquely set up similar to what the Raiders were doing early in the game last week, where they were rushing up field, but they were keeping Mahomes in front of them and not letting him break out and get some of those busted plays and getting some pressure on him while doing that with only 4 or 5 guys and then having the other 6 or 7 in coverage. If the Bills can do that and they can keep Mahomes in the pocket trying to create from inside the pocket and not letting some of the creativity as easy for him, then I think it bodes very well for the Bills. The other thing is too, look, the Chiefs defense really struggles to stop people. Really struggles to stop people. So I don't want to put too much faith in all this narrative nonsense. I'm just looking at it from like a football standpoint. What I would be interested though is the public bets thing. So we talked about that before. Where's the money? Where's the money on this thing? Because we talked about the media. That's one thing. But where's the money on this? Because that's the problem that I see. Yeah, Allen does. He has his moments where he just blanks out and does dumb things. Mahomes does the same thing, except Mahomes is more like he'll take some unnecessary risk and turn the ball over. I like Josh Allen to like get some runs off today. I'd be interested to see what his 35 and a half rushing yards.
Yeah, so it's like it's a good angle. It's a good idea to look at it, but 35 and a half is, he's hit it plenty in his career and this season, but it's tough against this Chiefs team. I don't know. I agree with you that he'll probably get some run action, but I don't know if it's going to be more than usual or like average or a little less. It's a tough call in my opinion. 35 is just a little bit of a high number.
It's taking forever to lose.
The money that you asked about, 57% of the bets are on the Bills.
Okay. What the hell happened?
But
wait, what is it? How much? How much is on the Bills?
57%.
See, that ain't that much.
So it's creeping up to that 60, but it's not too much,
Yeah, that's not. We're not there yet. All right, so rushing yards. Here we go. Josh Allen, 50 and a half, minus 115. Jesus.
Oh wow,
that's a lot.
Damn, there was some.
I don't like it that much. Oh my gosh, this is like the Lamar Jackson 10 and a half
Maybe
carries.
I was either thinking of something different or I was either looking at a different prop when I thought 35 and a half or they moved that up.
We got attempts on here.
Check real quick.
Yeah, let me
that moved. Yeah, I was looking at something different, I guess.
7.5.
Oh, Edwards-Helaire is 35. Edwards-Helaire is 35 and a half. That's what it is.
Yeah, so I like Allen 7.5.
Attempts, right?
That 150 is man, that minus 150 is a lot.
You could get on points bet. You could get 8.5 for plus 100 for one more run. You're getting 250 for one more run. So that, I mean, that's one of those where it's like, all right,
plus 250.
Even no, you're getting plus 100, but you're
plus
giving
100.
up
Oh, you're getting the
50
50. Yeah, I got you.
Yeah,
Right.
You're getting basically 250. So
mm-hmm.
That's one of those where it's like, all right, there's a good enough game script for that to hit. It makes sense to just put your money on it. Even if you're not backing it from a football standpoint, you could that's one that you would just back from the numbers, like, bro, I need 8 runs for a minus 150 bet to hit.
Yeah.
And I only need one more run for a plus 100. I mean, that's just good value.
Mm-hmm. So, so this
I'll take that. I'll take a 250 swing for one run any day of the week, no matter who it is.
All right. So look at this over.
In a game like this where the script makes sense. Yeah.
Right. And this is one where like the over under is one that I think there's some play. And what I'm going to recommend is that you don't play this before the game starts. You wait and you see, because if you remember last year, that game really got crazy in the third and fourth quarter, really in the fourth quarter, and overtime, obviously. I look at, you wait on this one, you see if that number comes down to you, you see if maybe you get better money on this 54. I think if it goes low scoring early, you could have a line in the low 50s to maybe even the high 40s. And at that point, I'm in and I'm hammering it away, because I think this ends up being like a 30-28 or something, something in that realm. That's what I think. This ends up being 30-28, 35-28, 34-31, 34-30, somewhere in that neighborhood, where it ends up in the mid 50s to low 60s. But I think it could get off to a slow start where these two teams start to feel each other out. I don't think they're going to come out necessarily trying to throw haymakers at each other, because I think the defenses are going to do everything that they can to get after these quarterbacks and try to get a turnover early. So I could see this being a somewhat conservative start where, our total is 10 at the end of the first quarter, maybe 14 at the end of the first quarter. And that's where I'm looking at that over and I'm saying, okay, now it's better money. I don't like 54 at minus 115. I like something more like 50.5 at plus 120 in, starting the second quarter. So,
yeah, I got you. I'm going to drop a same game parlay for this game, because it's a huge matchup. And like you were just saying, a lot of potential for a lot of offense. So this is the perfect game to do a same game parlay. But no, what I'm saying is I'm going to drop that on Twitter.
Oh, you're going to drop it on Twitter. Oh, okay.
At some point around like halftime of the 1 p.m. games, I'll drop that.
Okay.
I have it made already, but I'm going to give it out a little later.
Look out for that one, everybody.
I have the ideas together, but I want to write down the reasons why, so people know what we're actually betting on. But one leg of that is definitely going to be Marquez Valdez-Scantling, his over on receiving yards.
All right. So
I got it at 45.5 last night. I don't know what it's at right now though. Damn, I'm
45.5. Over 45.5 at minus 120 is what.
Yeah.
FanDuel
So
has.
that's, that's going to be part of my same game parlay there.
There you go.
But I like that. He's hit 44 in 4 out of 5, 44 plus. So I think they keep going to him. Patty Mahomes is loving him lately. His last 2 games, 63 yards and 90 yards. His best games as a Chief. So I like that trend to keep moving forward, even against this good Bills defense. They got to give the ball to somebody. So, that's going to be a part of it. The one play that I'm backing though in this game is Isaiah McKenzie anytime touchdown.
Okay. All right. Let's see what we got here. Isaiah McKenzie anytime touchdown plus 225. Okay.
You're getting, let me tell you where you're getting the best numbers though, real quick.
Yep.
You're getting 1 second. You're getting plus 250 on FanDuel. So that's the best number actually. So you're getting plus 250 on FanDuel. So that's where I'm going to take it. But I like this because he is Josh Allen's favorite red zone target of all time. Stamped.
Okay, where was that?
Allen, he'll tell you.
Where was that you're getting? And what's the number?
FanDuel plus 250.
FanDuel plus 250. Okay. All right. So Isaiah McKenzie at plus 250 for touchdown, and then Valdez-Scantling at 45 plus at minus 120. We might be able to shop around and get better money on that one too. But yeah, we're looking forward to that parlay that you got there. And I don't have anything else.
Well, I'm going to tell you why I like Isaiah McKenzie's touchdown.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, but like I was saying, he's Josh Allen's favorite target in the red zone of all time. This season in the red zone, he has 3 catches for 19 yards and 3 touchdowns. He's scored in 3 out of his 4 games this season. When he's in the game, he gets the touchdowns. When he's out, that's when Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs have their fun. But when he's in the game, they're going Isaiah McKenzie in the red zone. And I like him to score again here, especially at plus 250. That's great value for a guy who scored in 3 out of the 4 games this season, who has red zone stats like that in a game where it's going to be tight. And I don't think the Bills are going to be getting 98-yard, 65-yard touchdowns on the Chiefs. They're going to be able to drive the ball up and down the field. The Chiefs aren't that good defensively, but they're going to get down to the red zone quite a few times in this game. There's going to be a lot of opportunities for Isaiah McKenzie. So I like that play there. So I'm backing that for sure.
Yeah, I think they could get some of those big plays though too. Devontae Adams and Derek Carr have entered the chat, and they say that big plays can happen against this Chiefs.
Oh yes, no, I'm not. Well, what I was saying is
I just don't think it's going to be exclusively
back to back. Like, exactly. Like they're gonna actually have to have some methodical drives where they get down to the goal line. And in the goal line, I mean, the Bills and the Chiefs, those are the 2 best teams in goal line situations. I mean, they're very creative. They run very creative plays. If they want to get Isaiah McKenzie the ball for a touchdown, they know exactly how to do it. You know what I mean? They're going to run the exact play that gets him wide open in the corner by himself.
Yeah. So, all right. So we got you roughly 30 plays in an hour and 15 minutes, and 17 of those are like what I would call like pretty official plays. So we didn't go as ham as we did last week with just throwing out plays left and right. I think we were a little more disciplined in just looking for the ones that really,
wasn't
really
like,
made sense.
There's still a lot more on the board that I like and might play myself, but we just gave out the most confident one, like the ones that we're really feeling that we have some numbers to back and things like that. So
right. Yeah. So there you go. There you have it. Bet wisely, as John Ryan says, with your head, not over it. And go follow me on Twitter at itsAG400 so you can get that same game parlay later. I mean, the Men of Order account will retweet it as well. All of our links are in the description also, and you can see it's right there. So you can see AG right there on the screen at itsAG400, and he's going to have that parlay later on, and I'll retweet it from the Men of Order account as well. So anyway, we thank you guys for joining us. I hope y'all have a great day. Stack some cash. Let's get it. And go Bills. No, but also
shout out there, Nash.
Seriously,
appreciate everybody in the chat.
That's right. Go Guardians, because I've got something where, like, if they win, I got a parlay with them in the Phillies, and actually a couple of them, and that's going to hit. And I have some straight bets with just the Guardians to win that series that I placed a week ago.
I'm down to my last man standing in the MLB right now.
Oh, shoot.
And it's actually pretty fucking surprising. You would never guess who my last man standing is.
Is it the Padres or is it the Phillies?
It's the Phillies.
The Phillies, yeah.
But from March, though.
Oh, wow, that's good. Yeah, see,
that's why you would never guess it.
I bet the Padres when they were down 1-0. I bet the Padres to win that series after LA took game 1. And I was like, all right, bam, let's get it. And they took it from there. So I actually picked them to win the World Series. It was like plus 1,000.
Nice.
So
I'm not the biggest MLB guy or biggest baseball guy in general. So I was kind of not necessarily blindly picking, but I was kind of looking at the players and everything, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm just gonna throw down on these 4 teams. Right. I had the Dodgers, Angels, Blue Jays, and Phillies in March. So 3 of 4 made the playoffs.
Yeah, that's not bad.
2 of 4 were in the next round, but I'm riding the Phillies now, so I need them to win because I got to play on them from back in March.
Hey, I like the Phillies a lot, actually. Like the way that they're playing now.
Yeah,
it's.
I doubled down
appreciate you
too,
nerd.
Yeah,
Appreciate
facts.
you too, bro.
I doubled down when they fired their manager a few months ago too. So just because the number went down so far, but here we go.
That's like the recipe. The Astros did that a while back, where they fired
Yeah.
their manager in midseason and went to the World Series.
Yankees should do that shit in September. Every fucking year, man.
Yeah,
but
right.
yeah, let's get out of here. Good luck
All right.
this week, guys.
Appreciate y'all. Yeah, good luck
Peace.
this week. Y'all have a good one. Peace.